I didn't mean to send you that. I didn't mean to send you out. Real quick. Maybe. Yeah. Do you want me to take them? Yeah, I'll take them. We can do some other matters and I believe we're alive.
All right, it's 7:02, so I'll call the meeting to order.
Sure. I'm just kidding.
Can we have the gavel too?
Come on, yeah.
Go from here.
Yes.
All right, so we'll start off. I'll call the meeting to order. I'm Charlie Pennsylvania, the new president. So welcome everyone. We should go to the public comment.
I'll just introduce myself. I'm Jim Roberts from Capital Region Workforce Development Board, Assistant Director of Business Services. Had a meeting with Joe a month and a half ago, and we were talking about doing a partnership, and here to give us some names and faces and a little bit more about this evening.
Great, and he's agreed to join our community advisory council.
Appreciate it. Welcome and
Thanks for coming.
so with no other public comment, we'll move on to oath of office for our newest trustee. So we've got here.
I, Kayla Becker, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of trustee of East Village Community Library according to the library.
It's official.
So with, now that we are on to 7, we'll move on to our annual organizational paperwork, which is distributed in our packet. So we've got our conflict of interest policy.
Oh, you have it, right? Thank you.
And we also, just for the record, we've got the board roster. And the code of ethics we've got. So everyone should have the conflict of interest and the code of ethics policy to sign. And then there's also a board roster and then bank signature card for some of them. Right, we'll do those. Yeah. All right, so then we'll move on to our committee chair appointments. So for admin, I'd like to welcome. So for admin, we're gonna have Amanda. And for services, we're gonna have Katie. So very excited to kick that off and have a good year of committee processes to move all of our awesome projects forward. All right, so jumping back into our regular scheduled programming, we've got approval of minutes. So, Cammy.
Thank you. Okay. I think everyone have a chance to look at the minutes from the December meeting.
I didn't receive a couple of edits. Those were made, sent out. Can I get a motion to? Thank you. Second, Kate.
Comments, thoughts? If not, all in favor?
Thank you.
Motion passes. Move on to the treasurer report.
So, hopefully everyone had a minute to look at the report. The only confusion was that we were dealing with a year end as well as the last month of happenings. So hopefully that didn't create too much confusion. So obviously 2024 is 100% complete, 2025 is 2.7% complete, and then we just have some of our larger expenses listed. Did anyone have any questions or comments about the treasurer's report? You want to bring up what you had mentioned, Mary?
Yeah, for the, I just had some confusion with the warrant versus the off warrant, the dates that are listed in the. Where it says, so for the date in the warrant, those dates are actually the dates that the bill was received versus.
It's the date, so the date of the off warrant is the date that the checks, remember the off warrant is when you have to pay a bill in advance of the meeting, in between meetings. So that's the date of the check. The date on the warrant of bills, these are bills that have not been paid yet, so all those checks are dated tonight. They'll go out tomorrow, so this is the date of the invoice. So even though it says December 7th to January 10th, an invoice might be dated December 5th, but that's because it was received during the time frame of December 7th to January 10th, which is the time frame from the last meeting when that warrant was cut off. So the warrant will always encompass when we cut off the warrant. So it's usually a couple days, it's usually Wednesday or Thursday, the week prior to the board meeting.
Okay.
All right, any other questions or comments? Okay, so we do have a few motions. A motion to accept the off warrant in the amount of $169,654.69 for the period of December 7th, 2024 through January 10th, 2025 as presented.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous.
Then we also have a motion to authorize the president to sign the warrant for the period of December 7th, 2024 through January 10th, 2025 in the amount of $40,635.92.
Second from Steve. All in favor? Any discussion? All in favor? Thank you. Okay.
And finally, a motion to approve the January 10th, 2025 financials with 100% of 2024 and 2.7% of 2025 completed as presented.
Really? And then, any discussion? Not, all in favor? 7.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Thanks. Oh, you're such a job. Yeah, that's great.
Awesome. All right, so.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did a great job.
Oh, thank you.
Very excited.
I'm just wondering if you're, look at this, or you're.
There's one that looks good enough, you can put it.
So, think carefully of your desires. So before I get started, welcome to all the new committee chairs, leadership, January meeting, Charlie.
Like back to school.
Thank you to everyone who has big shoes to fill. The next crew is up to the task. Thank you. Is there anything about my report, my written report, that you wanted me to go into more detail about? Notice in the beginning of the report, I gave you sort of an overview of highlights that we accomplished for the year. You can see we definitely accomplished quite a few things, a lot of things. So we're making great progress on our strategic plan, feeling very good about that. We raised, I did give you a breakdown of the revenue and expenditures, which I thought would be helpful for you as you're talking to the community. You know, where are we getting our money from? How much of it is public funding versus private money? I thought that that would be helpful. You can see that we are getting about 71% of our money from the town of East Greenbush, which makes sense. And restricted funds are just shy of 13%. Now that includes our construction grant money that we did receive for the year. That was a big grant in there. And then I detailed out what the grants were, what the grants were. The major grant is the $312,612, which was for New York State construction funds. There are some smaller grants in there. And then the other major funding is from the Friends of the Library, $50,100. So, and I believe we have $50,000 in our budget for this year as well. Thanks to Tim for coming. We're excited as we look at goal 5 on our plan, the advanced local economic vitality, to really develop a closer relationship with the Capital Region Workforce Development Board. We've partnered in the past, but it's been a while. And we had a great conversation, Tim and Brian Williams, who's the exec director, and you're the business guru, right? What's your exact title? You're like that.
Basically, it's coming to meetings like this, going out to employers, sitting with prospective employees, all ages, from basically, we were talking about youth summer programs, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, after school programs as well, all the way up to 50 plus. So, and a variety of backgrounds and you know, people from different ways and population. So, you know, it doesn't matter from Lansingburg and Troy all the way through North Greenbush, East Greenbush, and out in Rensselaer County to Hoosick Falls, working with the school district out there to be able to do job shadowing and internships. So it's a lot to be able to cover in 3 counties.
Well, we're really appreciative. It sounds like there's a lot of symbiotic sort of energy that we can capitalize on between us, and we're looking forward to doing some things together. So we're sort of at the beginning stages of that. One thing that we're doing right now that we just found out today, I did mention in here that WMHT the Great Migration Library Contest. We're showing the North to New York. WMHT is sponsoring a video, North to New York, Capital Region and Great Migration, which will be shown at the library in February. And they tasked libraries to do a display. And we won, they highlighted us and Saratoga Springs Public Library for our display. So we are winning $200.
Oh, that's cute.
That's great. We're still seeing a lot of adults with different abilities coming into the library. 491 people in 98 groups in the month of December, which is wonderful and challenging too, with seating and spacing and knowledge founders and bring. brings, so that program for Inclusible is really important. To get that off the ground, we're still looking for volunteers to run that program. We haven't found anyone to step up and run or participate in that program. So we are gonna be allocating staff resources and just kind of shifting some of our resources to get that up and running. The need far outweighs what our capacity is right now. So if you have people that you know that are interested, groups, especially during the winter, they're just coming here all day and saying, thank you so much, because there's nowhere else to go. So the more we have activities and things for people to have meaningful interactions with their clients, the better, because the goal is to work on community skills and to engage in the community, and it's hard to do that with just staffing turnover and like a lot of the there's a lot of challenges with welcoming.
As trustees, can we participate?
You can absolutely participate. Yeah. I would say it'd be very rewarding.
Yeah, it sounds like.
Yeah. You sure you don't want to give yourself a break? Thank you. I want to highlight, because this is a big thing, we've been having more and more leaks in the air handler unit. So it's not in here yet, but we're gonna be having a $2,000 plus repair bill for that. We're looking at making some adjustments to the unit itself. It is original to the building. We do need to start thinking about replacing it. It's an $80,000 unit, so $2,000 seems like a lot for a repair, but it's minor compared to the $80,000. So it's one of those things where you can rebuild the guts. And so that's what we're doing right now, sort of rebuilding the guts, right? It's been springing leaks for a bit now, once or twice every year for the last couple of years. But this last one was just leaks everywhere, pinhole leaks everywhere. So it's time to be doing some work on that. I also wanted to let you know that statistics, ancestry statistics, we got an email from them on December 5th saying that they had undercounted the usage of the data from August of 2023 to June of 2024. So some of the stats are gonna look a little different because they updated everything. We obviously can't update our annual report to the state that was done last year, but for our 2024 figures, we've updated those now. We had subscribed to an HR service through Paychecks, which will be great for as we're reviewing our job descriptions. You have been reporting on that we've been reviewing our job descriptions, coming up with library-wide core competencies. They will help review those job descriptions and make sure they're all consistent and legal. And then they also have an employee support component there. So we have stopped contracting with Capital EAP. We'll be going directly with Paychecks. There's a lot of compliance stuff that they're gonna help us with. They're already a vendor that we've been using for years for payroll. So we're feeling good about that. And they also said that they would be willing to help us with our staff manual. I know that we have already had our health insurance broker looking over and say we're good legally. I know off the top of my head, there's at least 2 things that started in January 1 of this year that we have to add to it already. They said that they could make that a priority project for us. So it's a big project for the services committee, but I think our conversations can still happen at the committee level. But I think that will move it along for them to take that and just give us a document that we can just.
Your cost factor?
There's it's included in the price or contract price.
Nice, yeah.
We can also call them, so if there is an employee issue, I can call them for advice. So that's sort of like the first step before you have to go for, you know, an attorney. You could kind of go to your HR consultant first about, you know, are you going down the right path? Are you, and we tend to like to reach out for any issues like that, because that's not a skill that we have on staff. That's me, so I'll take all the advice I can get. I'm super thankful to our staff and the board for a really incredible year I think we had. We had a great wrap up in December. I did give you, I updated the monthly stats are in there, the December stats, and the quarterly stats. So you could see when you look at the yearly stats, of course you see that trend line, the blue trend line is what happens throughout the year, just so you see that like the ebbs and the flows yearly for the business that we do at the library. But really, if you're looking at the comparison between 23 and 24, that's those last two lines, and that's where the green and the red are. So you know, see more and more people are using the library, but even our materials use is going up. Our database usage went down. And we know of that because Ancestry no longer allows remote use. And that was, besides Times Union, that was a huge, a huge thing. So we're doing
I have one question. You had indicated that we closed out, or there's a construction grant that's now closed out.
Yep.
So do we now just have one open construction?
We have one open construction grant. We received $9,000 from the
Yes.
from the 2020.
Yeah, it was.
2020 construction project that was paused, that we didn't start till post-COVID. So they, you know, kind of, but that had been closed out for a while, but not officially closed out through New York State. And we had to amend. Well, we got all our money, all paperwork's done, check is in hand deposited, thankfully. There is not a whole lot happening with the construction project right now. We have some decisions with the windows and the entry that we'll be making. We're getting closer and closer to making those decisions, and it's all about, you know, maintaining our budget, but staying focused on the primary work, which is keeping the exterior of the building secure. So we're protecting our resources. The project is going, I would say, as, for the most part, as expected. For the most part, you know, as all construction projects do. Any other questions about my report? Any of the programs or services or any of the things that were surprising to you about the
We'll see the boardrooms again.
Yeah.
The data points, very visually intriguing. And echo the thanks for all the staff for 2024. Great job for everything.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal.
Yeah. Personnel memorandum. So we are fully staffed. We hired a librarian in the youth services department, Yara Bonifacio. She is bilingual. We're very excited about that, speaks Spanish and English. And then we have another person, Kara Eckhart, who will be coming in as a temporary substitute for a leave that we have, employee leave, that's medical child rearing leave that is anticipated coming up. So we have someone training for that.
before you do your approval.
So. Personal memo, they're gonna go. We've got, Mary, any discussion?
Mary or
Okay.
that's okay, no worries. We look alike.
I don't know why we're bringing stuff
Sit
on
over
that.
there, that's true, that's true,
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
used to
yeah.
sit there, that's right.
Sorry, any discussion? All in favor? 7 in favor, the motion passes. No liaisons. I think Julianne's still working with her planning session, diligently, so we're excited to see what the
I can give you a quick
oh, yeah.
brief update of what they're discussing.
Yeah.
So they have two different work groups over there that are meeting. One is a fundraising work group and the other work group is on advocacy. So they will have, this year, it looks like the governor's budget was put out today. And the basically library aid is a little bit higher, but not as high as, it's higher than it was last year, but not as high as the ask. Construction aid is down significantly. So there's some work to be done. It's just the beginning of the legislative season. They will be coming in the first week in February before Advocacy Day and setting up a table with letters for people to sign to bring with us to Advocacy Day and a little heart drawing that kids can fill out why they love the library to bring with us to the legislature. If anybody wants to go to Advocacy Day, let me know. It's a fun day.
It is very fun, having attended it last year.
Yeah,
They did, what's the date? February 3rd?
It's during the
February
6th, unfortunately,
And during the day.
and during the day.
It's during the day.
And our two reps are like hours apart.
Wednesday,
But-
5th.
But it was fun
February
to go
5th.
to the other ones as well and meet people and talk to, like, cause I didn't just go to Ashby and McDonald, I went to all of the ones that Upper Hudson was doing. And I thought it was absolutely fascinating and it was a fun look at how lobbying works, never done it before, so. If you can do it, if you can spare a few hours, definitely worth doing.
Yeah, and if you wanna bring a child with you, it's a good, take your kid out of school for the day and do it, that they get extra special treatment from the legislature.
Ooh, that's a thought. Unfortunately, we're in Florida, so.
Oh, all right, that's probably better.
I think that's why I couldn't do it.
The other thing so they're also talking about fundraising over there and so they're bringing in, they're looking to bring in about $10,000 with a new fundraiser on top of the book sales, which are, still raising very good money, but not really sustainable forever, with the way print is going. We're just ending up with a lot more books at the end to get rid of than in previous years. So they're looking to replace that with some major fundraising events. So if that's something you or you know of somebody that would be interested in joining the Friends in a different capacity, because it's a skill set that's not necessarily everyone on the current Friends group has, that is an opportunity and they are, excited if anybody has an idea and wants to run with it, they would be willing to support that. There are a lot of really great ideas. Just support on that, really looking at getting some corporate sponsors and auction items and things like that. So it could be a fun night, like a night at the library to talk about doing some sort of literary theme or something.
I wonder if that's something like, my husband works at the Spinney and they all love the library there. I wonder if like maybe if we talk to Live Well, which is the group that owns them, that might be a good source of local partnership as well.
So lots of fun options that they talked about. Along the lines of the Friends, there is a draft MOU in here. There was some conversation going back and forth about some minor tweaks that we might consider in the MOU. Specifically, information about being able to raise funds, not just for the library, but also operational money for them, so they're considering hiring a bookkeeper. So our current MOU specifically prohibits that, but we think that that's appropriate for them to be able to do that, to be able to use their volunteer capacity in a different way that would be useful to us. So we're looking at making some minor tweaks like that. There was one. Oh, it was yes. In here, it makes it, in the MOU, it makes it very clear that the friends are volunteers, but their role is really advocacy and fundraising, not programming. That's the library's role. But there's been a little bit of overlap with this Great Greenbush Quest. And so we want to tweak that's been positive, a positive partnership. So we want to tweak the language about programming, not that it's going to be friends, that friends may provide volunteer support as requested by the library director. So there's still, we're still making sure that our programming is quality programming run by professionals, but of course we want their volunteer assistance. So we want to make sure that it's
The
adjusting
summer
the
day
language.
never ended up happening, right? Do they have intentions of trying to do it again this summer?
They talked about it. They had trouble getting volunteers for that.
I think it was the time of year too.
I think it was the time of year with the amount of they tried to do it quickly without a lot of, it's a new idea. It takes some time to lead up to it. They do have, they have a ton of people over there that are now invested in the library. So easily at every Friends meeting, there's 20 people. And they're all coming up with ideas and all, ready to do things and support the library. And every time I go, I see a new face, but people are returning. So it's good.
Yeah.
That's I know 20 doesn't sound like a huge number, but
No,
that's
that's a
a
good
big number.
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
a good number.
For a Friends of the Library.
Well, I'm just even for any volunteer
Volunteer
group, like any
organization.
organization,
Sure.
yeah, that's,
Yeah,
that's pretty impressive.
that's great. So all good things that they're doing.
Just for process wise, so folks know, so you wanna sign and then amend, or would it be make the edits and bring it back for next, for the February meeting?
I think we would make the edits and bring it back for the February meeting. But the Friends meet in February and April. I still think that it should go to them at the February meeting, even if we wait to, it doesn't really matter when we sign it, it's still in effect, it's ongoing. So it's really an amended MOU anyways. So if you guys have any concerns about us tweaking language like that, we can just bring the final MOU to be signed.
I don't wanna see it again.
And then for two more pieces that we added, we've got the Skodak contract. So very exciting.
What?
Yeah.
No.
So it would be, we got the letter, well, I'm excited to say we got the letter, Mary got the letter. Yeah, for all her hard work on it, so she deserves a lot of credit for getting this over the line. But yeah, it's now, so sign it, so I think it's for the 400,000, which is good for our budget. So it would be a motion to authorize the president to sign the agreement with Skodak. Mary?
Is this unfinished?
Sorry, new.
This is new, so it's not.
I would say unfinished.
I would say
Oh, yeah, yeah,
unfinished, yeah.
Unfinished.
Okay. Go. All right, and any discussion? All in favor?
It's a 1 year, right?
1 year, okay.
That's what I figured.
Who made the motion?
Awesome. All in favor? Unanimous, 7 unanimous. Awesome.
It's been good work to the entire team.
Yes, thanks everyone for all your great input.
Yeah.
And then the one second piece of unfinished business is the audit paperwork.
Yep.
Um,
So we did get the audit paperwork, they're coming, I think I talked about this at the training. They're coming next week, we did get the audit paperwork, not in time for the agenda, but so it's just basic, every year we sign off on that, so as board president, Charlie will sign off. But it's probably something you want in a minute, so.
Yeah, so
Authorize.
make a motion to authorize the president to sign the engagement letter for audit services. With Brian's and
Grimaldi.
Yeah, sorry.
As the motion
It's
for,
for me to sign the engagement letter.
okay,
All right, so we got Katie, and a second. Amy, any discussion?
I thought Jill always said that.
This year it says president, it says
Okay.
officer.
All right, I just never remember that motion before, that's why.
I mean, they probably changed it, I don't know, I don't think it matters, but.
I know it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter, but I was just very curious because we've never had that.
Cause it usually doesn't even come between board meetings, but it said officers, so I said,
Okay.
all right, let's bring it to the board.
Right, then I have no questions.
All right, all in favor? 7 unanimous. So passes. Any other new or unfinished business?
I just wanted to, just for Kayla's sake, so on the agenda where it says liaison reports, Upper Hudson Library System, so I'm the liaison from this board, I don't know if you knew this, or if you know what it is, and I don't think I've ever really, like at the beginning of the year said like, what is that, or who are, whatever. But, so I'm the representative from this library to the Upper Hudson Library System Board. So I'm the Board of Trustees, and I'm a member of that as well. So Upper Hudson Library System is, I was on their website just to make sure I was saying it correctly, and Jill certainly can help. It's a cooperative organization of all of the member libraries, where the staff really helps all the libraries just run efficiently, consult, provide trainings, and really just any issues that come up, helps with grants, advocacy, just, they have a great staff there. And they're really there to help all of the libraries in the Upper Hudson area.
As well as delivery, I mean, the
Like
database, the shared patron database, the lending
Yeah.
database and the delivery service.
Yeah. So we have 2 new board members on that starting now in January. So from the Troy Public Library is Maria Drysdale, and then from the Albany Public Library, Sarah Machinsky. So, yeah, I mean, it's a great board. I've learned a lot over the last couple of years, just about, everything library. It's been really a great experience for me. And yeah, I bring back little tidbits here. The one tidbit I will say is that Upper Hudson just surpassed the 1 million mark for digital lending. Something like really pretty big.
For the first time, that's for 1 year, so that's the first time that
Yeah.
we exceeded 1 million.
But anyway, just was,
How long is your term for?
I guess it's till the end of, of my term here.
So is it June, in June though?
I mean, I think Michael just kind of went off and I kind of kept going with this, so I don't know if I have to ask if it's the end.
Yeah, I didn't
Here,
know,
or-
I didn't know how they're.
Because he just asked me once, like, hey, do you want to?
It's not, so she's not representing the library, she's
Yeah.
representing
Like,
mid-sized
right,
libraries
sorry,
in
sorry about
Rensselaer
that, yes,
County.
right,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
yeah.
So it's not necessarily an East Greenbush library
right,
seat,
you're right.
but we tend to have it.
Yeah, they've never asked for another, yeah, because who else would that be?
Charles.
Anyway,
Brunswick.
yeah, because I usually do something with Fred. But I explained the team's intention.
Appreciate it, sorry.
Thank you, no, that's all right. Thank you.
We did receive our $1,000 from Rensselaer County too.
All right. Sounds good.
Any other?
Sure that you go on the Times Union and vote for the library in the best of competition.
Started?
If this is the nominating portion, so
okay.
the more votes we get in the nominating, the higher,
Sure.
more likely we are to make the cut. I'm sure we will, but we wanna make sure we make that cut, so.
All right, so how many, we've, at least 4 years running, we've made number 2 in the region, so. See if we can make number 1, it's second best is getting really old.
But it's better than third.
It is better than third, and hey, we're doing better than some of the big libraries with better funding, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, you just log on, all you need to do is have an email address the first time, and that's it. And very easy, and then that goes through the 5th, and then the voting starts. A few days after that, where every day you vote, and the library that gets the most votes wins, and it's usually Colony, so. It's our turn, and which makes sense, because it's where the Times Union is, but I have also spoken to. Exactly, but I have also spoken to my spouse who works at Spinney, and as I said, they absolutely love the library and are on the newspaper all the time, so. Feel like we got an in here.
Awesome, appreciate the attention for that. Any other business? If not, motion to adjourn. First by Amanda, and second, Katie, all in favor? 7, motion unanimously passes. Awesome, all right, so the meeting is adjourned.
That is 7.
No, that's.
45 minutes. So the community advisory council meetings are a lot more
43.
idea based and like representatives from all the different community partners.